Matthews.
Oh, there you go. Hello. First of all, we just have to face the fact that this is not some vestige of history. This is with us right now. And that the consequences of all of the things that brought us here will not be reversed simply by deciding we don't want to be thought of as racist. Or that you can take centuries of racist policies and replace them with neutral policies and expect everything to correct itself. I mean, it might over thousands of years, but we don't have time. People who are being harmed by racism today don't have time. And so the only way we can deal with the effects of racist policies, not with neutral policies, but with counter-racist policies. It's one of the reasons why we have to put resources behind the idea of reversing harms in, let's say, segregation in housing, that happen not just by accident, but as a consequence of federal policy, some of it under Democratic administrations, and much of it not that long ago, that served to segregate many of our neighborhoods, which in turn, coupled with a system of funding schools that relies so much on local funding in most parts of the country, wound up perpetuating the inequality that went with housing segregation and turning it into inequality in education, which of course drives generational poverty. So when we talk about systemic, it's that all of these things are connected. And I think in terms of having a productive dialogue, as you call it, we've got to find a way to invite people who perhaps would not like to consider the ways in which we benefited from this, to feel like they can be part of the solution. And here again, I think there might be a chance to look to the LGBTQ experience as a source of hope, but also a bit of a playbook. One of the things I found during my coming out process as a very public figure was that there were a lot of people, this is more or less at the peak of Governor Pence's project in Indiana around so-called religious freedom. It was a challenging time for these things, where I live. But also that a lot of people really wanted to find their way onto the right side of history, but they weren't sure how, or they didn't feel comfortable there. And we had to find a way to kind of beckon them there. I was thinking of a person of a certain age, kind of more conservative woman, but in our community who ran into me, I guess not long after running into Chasten, and gave me this kind of naughty look and a pat on the arm and said, I just ran into your friend. He's wonderful. This could have been a moment to explain the difference between a friend and a partner. But for her, that was a step. And she felt good about herself for having taken that step. And it was important to not do anything that would push her into the arms of the religious right, by making her feel there's nowhere else to go. So we've got to figure out a way now to give absolutely no quarter to racism, and at the same time allow people who have participated knowingly or unknowingly in racist systems and a racist culture to find a way out of that. It's almost like restorative justice. It's reconciliation that will break down the patterns of radicalization that are happening. No excuses on one hand, and a sense of welcome as well as pressure on the other. That won't be easy, because a lot of people do not want to hear that they have had something to do with a racist. Who would? Especially if you don't think of yourself as racist, which most people don't. Look, the people who are committed racists, and that's why they're for this administration, you're probably not going to reach them. You simply have to defeat them. But there's not. But there's a lot of other people who have to be moved. And remember, Dr. King's greatest frustrations in his writing were not usually directed at white racists. They were directed at white liberals. And so we've got to figure out a way to create that kind of awareness, that kind of openness, and give people some sense of security that it's worth confronting these things together so they don't just retreat into their corners.